Hi, welcome. I'm Susan. This is a comeback yoga class. This class is gentle yoga and meditation, and we practice together for about 40 minutes or so. Um, we'll have a theme for this class. All the comeback yoga classes have a theme right now that can be unifying, and um, this theme is choice or agency. How to work that into your practice. It is very, very tempting to um, just listen to external forces to tell you what to do. Just tell me how to fix it. Just tell me how to do it. And yoga is a practice of internal listening, self discovery, um, and so that can be pretty challenging. It's almost like you're um, you've got two forces kind of pushing against each other. Um, but if you give yourself the space to have like this space to work in, and then realize that within the space to work in, you have an infinite number of choices. You can do it that way. So you've got the space of your mat. And within the space of your mat, you have this kind of infinite number of choices to move in, to practice in. And then not only that, but the way that you move and the amount of effort that you put in is also a way to exercise your agency, exercise your choice. We'll practice with that, and each pose that you move through, each pose that you hold, each pose that you are doing, listening to your body and giving yourself options, choices. Let's start with you. I'm just moving around. You can move around with me, or you can be doing your own thing, little stretches, little movements, and we'll sit together. Let's sit together. Once you're sitting, you can arrange your legs as you like. Put your hands on the tops of your legs, or maybe fingertips on the floor, to help just remind you that you are connected to the ground, to the earth, weighed down by gravity. And maybe look out your window. Breathe in, breathe out. And if you don't have a window, maybe just look at something that gives you um, an idea of color or shape or texture, and observe that. Observing the external things around you, and then start to notice your internal landscape, your internal self. Notice your breathing rate. Notice how it feels to breathe. Notice the sound of your breathing. Notice your thoughts. And then invite everything to be settled down and get a little bit quiet. Letting the corners of your eyes and your forehead soften up and just kind of settle into your natural patterns on your face. Noticing how you're holding corners of your mouth and your jaw. You don't have to fix or change anything. You're just observing, noticing the set of your shoulders. You can rub your hands together. And let's stick our legs out in front of us. This is typically a really challenging pose for our bodies, especially the way that we use our bodies in modern ways, sitting in chairs, sitting in cars. Um, the ways that we use our bodies make this pose pretty challenging to sit upright and have legs straight. So give yourself lots of bending knees. And there are lots of choices here. You can hold on to the backs of your legs. You can have one knee bent, other leg long. You can work with kind of the struggle of keeping upright, or you can lean into giving yourself a break. We've got lots of different options here. This is a pose. This is a challenging yoga pose. And then we'll lay on our backs. I'll move on to your back. Once you're on your back, you can put your hands on the top of your stomach and press your low back into the floor. We'll take one leg in towards your chest and cross your ankle over your opposite knee. If you reach down and hold onto your legs, you can bring your legs closer toward you. That might not work for you. You can also keep your foot on the floor, keep your legs where they are. And then we'll switch legs. One knee in toward your chest, stretch it out. And then crossing ankle over knee. And you can bring your legs closer toward you if you want to. That's an option. And then placing both feet on the floor, pressing your low back into the floor. And releasing your low back. Walk your feet out a little bit and let your knees move from left to right. And you'll notice how that feels and that you've got a lot of choice here in how far you go, in how fast you move, in what you do with your upper body as you're moving your lower body. And we'll find half boat pose. We'll start with a simple variation, one foot on the floor, one leg just above the floor, hands behind your head, just to hold your head in place as you press down into your low back and lift your rib cage. Your head's in line with your rib cage. Your hands are behind your head to help support the weight of your head and the strength of your neck. Half boat pose. And then head down, switch legs. In between, you can bring both knees in toward your chest. And we'll switch. One foot on the floor, other leg is up just above the floor. I have my leg long that's just above the floor, but you could also have your knee bent if that's better for your body. Hands behind your head, press down into your low back and lift your rib cage. Half boat pose. The half boat is when you're kind of on your back, and the full boat is when you're on the back of your pelvis. So that's what makes it a half boat or a full boat. Not whether or not one leg is off the floor or both legs are off the floor. Lower back down, both feet down. You can bring your legs in towards you and rock a little bit. And we're back to feet on the floor, rocking legs side to side. I'll give you another option here. It's the exact same idea of legs side to side, but you could take your feet off the floor and move your legs from side to side. that might feel more satisfying if you are working with core strength. But if you feel like that's not right for your body, not right for your back, then keep your feet on the floor. Some of the choices you make during class might be to keep yourself safe, to keep yourself feeling good. Okay, let's center up and find that pigeon pose again, crossing an ankle over your opposite knee, and you can leave your legs there, or this time you could bring your legs closer in toward you. And if you brought your legs closer in toward you, you could straighten your other leg up towards the ceiling. Come back to center, both legs in toward your torso. And we'll finish up with this whole sequence with one more pigeon, any way that you like. Just going until you feel a stretch, a pretty gentle stretch. And both feet down. Let's walk feet out towards the edges of your mat and rock from side to side. And we'll move our hips over to one side of the mat. Turn onto your side and keep on going. Turn onto your stomach. Once you're on your stomach, you can bend one knee and maybe turn to look at it. Put your foot up in the air, put your leg down, and then do the same thing on the other side. Bend one knee, bring your foot up in the air, turn and look at it, and put your leg down. Lower your upper body down if it's not already. Straighten one leg and lift your leg off the floor. I'm lifting from my thigh. I'm lifting my thigh up. But if that doesn't feel nice to your body, if you're making a different choice, then you keep your knee bent, keep your thigh on the floor, and just lift your lower leg. All kinds of reasons why you might want to do one or the other. And you're just using the reasons that you have and making that decision. As you're lifting one leg, you can float it a little bit, couple of breaths, rounds of breath, and then let it come down and then try the other leg. This is the locust pose. Lots of different variations of this locust pose. Let's do one where arms are outstretched out in front of us, and you can lift your upper body a little bit with your hands, palms down on the floor. You can press into your hands a little bit and then lift your upper body a little bit and then float your legs, well, both at the same time. Doesn't have to be much, can just be a few inches. And lower everything down. Bend your knees, both feet in the air, and rock your lower legs and your feet side to side. And this is kind of releasing low back, any tension that you needed to do that locust pose. You're letting that simmer down and go back to steady state. Letting your legs come down. Walk your feet out a little bit wider on your mat. Take both arms along out in front of you. Press into your hands and lift your rib cage. Then try walking your hands back just an inch and lift a little. Walk your hands back just an inch. Maybe your hands are on your mat now. They've reached the corner of your mat perhaps. And lift, and you're stretching out the front of your body. Point your toes maybe, or you can tuck your toes under, get a little purchase on the floor. Breathe and lower yourself down gradually, just like you came up, lowering down. Hands one on top of the other underneath your chin. Walk your feet back towards each other, knees back towards each other. Put your lower legs, feet in the air, and rock them side to side. So we turned to come down onto our sides. We were on our backs, turned on our sides, turned onto our stomachs. Let's turn, keep on going that same way around, if you remember which way you were turning. And let's come back onto our backs. Readjust. Put your hands on your stomach and breathe in and breathe out. Let's try our pigeon pose. Cross one ankle over your opposite knee. You can stay like that, or you can bring your legs a little closer toward you. This time you can hold on to your crossed leg and let your other leg go long, and it can float above the floor. You can keep it lifted, or you can let your leg come down towards the floor. And let that go. Rock your heels, rock on your heels, toes side to side. And we'll do the other side, other leg. Pigeon pose. You can bring your leg a little closer toward you. And then if you can hold on to your cross leg and let your other leg go long, you can rest on the floor, or you can lift it a little bit above the floor. And bring your legs back down. You're on your heels. Rock, point your toes left and right. We'll bring both knees in toward your chest. Then we'll finish this entire thing, whole sequence, this kind of lying on the floor pigeon and reclined hip rolls by finishing up with the reclined hip rolls. You can support yourself with your upper body, bringing your arms out wide or arms overhead or hands on the tops of your rib cage. You can have your feet on the floor, or you could have your feet in the air as you let your legs rock from side to side. We'll try a half boat with both feet, both legs off the floor. This is a more challenging half boat for me. You can see how you feel about it. I have my knees quite bent, hands behind my head, press down into your low back, and float your ribcage a little bit. Breathe. Head comes down, feet come down. Wiggle around. And we'll bring ourselves up to sitting and do a full boat variation. You can bring yourself up however you want to. I might roll up. Then once you're up, you can hold on to the backs of your legs, or you can have your arms forward and balance on kind of those bottoms of your sit bones. Let's come back upright. Sitting up, roll through your shoulders. Come back to your beginning position, the way that we started, and observe. How do you feel now? We took a survey of our bodies, of our internal thoughts, of our breathing. And you don't have to compare it to how you felt before, but you're just observing your current state, listening and noticing. just as an observer, as an interested observer. Once you've done that, let's turn face down towards the mat. We'll do a tiger stretch, shifting weight onto one leg and sticking your other foot into the air. Putting your leg down and tiger stretch, other side. Shift and lift, tiger stretch, and then square, open and stack, one hip on top of the other. And square your hips down towards the floor and knee down. Do the other side, tiger stretch, open and stack, square, and both knees down. Let's walk hands forward a little bit and bring one foot on the outside of your hands. This is the lizard pose. You can lean into your arms. If you'd rather make fists rather than having flat hands, that takes the bend out of your wrists. So that can be really helpful in maintaining this pose. And I'm feeling this stretch a lot in my quads and my hip flexors. So that's the front part of your, you probably already know this because people not know a lot of anatomy nowadays. It's the front part of your thigh and the front part of your hip, the thing that keeps your leg, when we're sitting, those muscles are shortened, right, and tightened, and they get used to that. So stretching this out is beneficial, but also you've got plenty of time. It doesn't have to happen all right away. So be gentle and easeful with that stretch. You don't have to make it happen. You just let it be, take its own time. And then we'll come back to center and we'll get off our knees for a little bit. Let's rock back and stand up. You can come into a half forward fold, hands on the fronts of your legs. You could trace the rounds of your kneecaps and glide your hands down the fronts of your shins. Maybe reaching toward your toes. You can let your knees bend. And then roll up. Roll through your shoulders. Let's move into downward facing dog. Walk your hands down towards the floor. Stretch your hands out. Walk your feet out. Let your heels press down towards the floor. Your head is in line with your upper arms. Lengthen. And bring yourself back down. Onto knees is the last thing on our knees for now is the lizard pose on the other side. Walk your hands over to one side. Bring one foot forward. And you're leaning into your arms. Not everybody can reach the floor too, I should say. And lizard could look more like a lunge, a lifted lunge. You could also do this standing. A standing staggered stance lunge is a fine way to practice that. The heart of the pose of lizard is just a hip stretch. Again, noticing if you're kind of overdoing it, if you're overstretching a little bit, if you feel like that tension starting to get a little bit easing into uncomfortable, then back off a little. Always fine to do that. Or take a break, and then come back into the pose. You could do that too. And we're walking back. Let's move ourselves into standing again. Rock back. Heels down, roll up. You can stand any way you want to. I'm going to stand with palms forward, rolling my shoulders, my upper arms out to the sides, and pulling my face back. And shake that out a little bit. Let's find that staggered stance lunge. Staggered stance lunge, 1 foot forward, 1 foot back. Breathe in, breathe out. And I'm feeling a big stretch on my back calf. That's what I'm focusing on right now. And now I'm going to move the stretch into my thigh by bending my knee and tilting a little, just until I kind of feel that. And straighten both legs and we'll tilt into the pyramid pose. And that's going to be a big stretch. You might feel that right at the base of your sit bone, down through the back of your thigh. Sometimes we don't have to go very far to feel these stretches. There's no requirement to go any particular place. You're just stretching for yourself. Pyramid pose. And we'll lift up. Let's step forward into a tree pose because it's kind of fun. You can do any arms. I'm going to do eagle arms. Step forward into tree pose. Balance. Give yourself a little balance challenge. Be a tree. And we'll release down. Step together. Just simple standing. You can choose how you want to stand. I'm going to stand this time with hands together and looking at my hands. And we'll switch into that staggered lunge. One leg forward, one leg back. Really feeling it on that the back calf. Big stretch. Giving myself time to be there. And trying to move it into my back thigh a little bit. And then straightening and tilting into the pyramid pose. I have my hands on my front leg to support, and I'm seeking stretch on the back of my front thigh. Now let's lift up, and here's our fun. Stepping forward into the tree pose, just step forward and bounce. Any arms, I'll do eagle arms on the other side since I was eagling on the other side. Stepping together, roll through your shoulders. Let's find one more just simple stand. You can stand any way you like. We'll move into downward facing dog. You can walk your hands down your legs. You can squat and then hop back. Lots of different ways people like to get into downward facing dog. I usually just kind of walk my hands forward, walk my feet back. I'm doing a wide Downward facing dog with my feet out towards the edges of the mat, giving myself a little more space. And gradually bringing ourselves back to sitting position. Turn your head from side to side, tilt your head, one side, the other side, and bring yourself in any position for little breathing, little mind exploration. You can lie down, you can lean against the wall, you can give yourself an upright seated posture. Try to find something that will help you feel easeful and also alert. And if you feel like you're falling asleep during meditation practice, well, maybe you need to sleep. And you don't have to struggle or fight, or you don't have to work too much. If you feel like you're really working hard, just take a breath, inhale and exhale, wiggle your shoulders around a little bit, and offer yourself a little more ease in your practice. You can feel like you're widening the space of your forehead, just letting it kind of expand a little bit. Make a little more space in your jaw, a little more space in the back of your throat, a little more space in your neck, a little more space in your belly. You might very slightly turn the corners of your mouth up and just very lightly lift the corners of your eyes. And we'll focus on the inhale part of our breath. So as you're inhaling, you're just noticing your inhale. You're observing it, you're paying attention to it, and you're noticing things about it. You're noticing how long it is, you're noticing little minutiae, little details of your inhale. As you are doing this, you might observe that your inhale gets a little bit more expansive. This is simply an option. You don't have to force or make your inhale get longer or bigger, but it may, as a consequence of paying attention to it, it may happen that way. Your exhale is just a regular exhale. take a pause in this practice. Move your mouth around, move your head around a little bit. You could swallow a couple of times. Invite your whole process of breathing to be a little bit more chill. And then begin again. You're giving your inhale a little more attention. This time, if you're comfortable with it, you could try inviting your inhale to be a little bit longer, a little bit bigger. Just by small degrees. You don't have to keep infinitely expanding it either. Just give it a little bit more. You can let your your inhale and your exhale go back to normal, regular, however they were before. Return to your natural breath and then observe. How does it feel to practice that practice of observing your inhale, of encouraging your inhale? And take your hands and rub your hands together. You can take your fingers and bring them up towards your forehead, center of your forehead, and smooth them out toward your temples. Fingertips to your cheekbones, draw them down toward your jawline. Hands to your opposite shoulder, smooth down your upper arms to your elbows. Let's do that again. Fingers in the center of your forehead, smoothing out toward your temples. Fingertips to your cheekbones, drawing down toward your jawline. Hands to your opposite shoulders, smoothing down toward your elbows. And we can wrap arms across the front of our chest and lean forward and let your weight of your arms stretch out your shoulder blades. And we'll lift up, turn your palms up, and bring your head forward. Lift your head, place your fingertips on the floor, and lift your chin. And level out your head. Bring yourself back to regular position. And one more time, observe how you feel. Observe your inner self, inner landscape. You might notice thoughts, emotions, sensations. You are an interested observer. And rub your hands together one more time. Let's turn and stick our legs out in front of us and observe how you feel now in this position. I was pretty uncomfortable first time we did this. You might cast your mind back to the first pose that we did and feel a little more comfy now. But not necessarily the goal, but just a gauge, an idea of how to see where you are, make choices based on your observations, and we'll come down onto our backs, bring ourselves into curled up position, knees in toward your chest. Kick up your heels, hold on to the backs of your legs, and roll yourself up to boat pose, or just roll over and push yourself up to boat pose if you don't like rolling. And back to center. Big inhale, sweeping your arms up and overhead. Exhale, draw your hands down the center line. Thanks for practicing with me and with Comeback Yoga today. And whatever you do, you are so appreciated and so welcome. So glad that you are part of the community. Comeback Yoga is a nonprofit. We offer these meditation and yoga classes for free across Colorado in person, and we're on PBS, and we have our live stream and our website, comebackyoga.org. Please go there. We have an amazing staff. They're happy to help connect you to resources that you might need, that you might want, and to help assist you with your yoga and meditation practice, and connect you to teachers and classes. I hope that you'll do that. I look forward to practicing with you again soon. Take care.